If you read about yourself all the time and people tell you you're wonderful, and you surround yourself with people who aren't honest, the ego is a very dangerous thing and should be kept in a box under the bed. My dad was an amazing artist, but he wasn't allowed to fulfill that dream, because I think his parents felt that being a cartoonist or an illustrator wasn't a proper job. So he had to work in his father's butcher's. I remember seeing his pictures on the wall at home when we were young, and he was really good. And he took us to see Star Wars in Leicester Square when it opened. And obviously I was completely, inspired by this film. So I started drawing my own Star Wars comics and drawing pictures of Chewbacca, and that's when I started drawing. And I think I was quite a fidgety child. I think I was noisy, and I was probably a bit of a pain. I was always distracting the rest of the class, and I talked too much. And when I'd sit at home and I would draw, I was quiet and I was content and I was lost. And I would do it for hours and hours, and I would, I wouldn't even realize what the time was. And it's still the same even today. I mean, I'm not fidgety and too annoying anymore. But it's trying to find this moment where you're lost in your work. I mean, you can always drink a nice bottle of wine, or, there are other ways of sort of drifting off into a wonderful place. But for me, it's this. The drawing just happens. Everything just happens, and suddenly you reach a point where it's perfect, and every move you make with your hand and every thought you're having, and it's growing in front of you, and there are no mistakes. And this is a wonderful, for an artist, this is a wonderful place to be. If I get an hour like that, I'm quite happy. But then you say, I'm not so selfish. I used to read that Picasso, not that I'm comparing myself to Picasso, but he used to have a rule that when he went to his studio and he shut his door, nobody was allowed to interrupt him. It didn't matter what was happening. Nobody should interrupt him. And unfortunately, I let myself be interrupted far too much. It's ridiculous the amount of barriers you subconsciously build up for yourself before you can get started on the thing that you're really passionate about, But I can't start until the washing up's done, and I should change the cat litter, and then by the time you're ready to start, the moment's gone. I haven't reached the point where I think I'm good at this. That's the drive. I know that it's in me to be really good at it, and I think I've come close a few times, but I don't usually look at things I've completed and feel content. Which then means the next thing you start, you go into it with that attitude that at this time I'm going to get it right, and that's the drive really each time. But it doesn't mean that it's it's a thankless task where you hate everything you do. But it's I'm never content. Maybe I never will be. But I secretly know that is what makes you grow.